Hello, brothers and sisters. I'm Pastor Stephen Jurdy at Zion Lutheran Church in Wausau and Bethany Lutheran Church in Anawa, here to share with you some information about a special project we're doing at Zion and Bethany. This year, December 1st, was the very beginning of Advent, and Advent ends on December 24th. And so there are 24 days to Advent this year. There's also 24 chapters to the Gospel of Luke. And so about 60 people in our two parishes have signed up to be part of a reading group that will read one chapter a day from the Gospel of Luke every day. The first chapter on December 1st, the second chapter on December 2nd, and so on and so forth. And to strengthen and encourage people in that reading, I am sending them notes over email, little reading notes about each chapter, as well as reading questions. You can still be a part of this project, and I'll tell you at the end of this video how you can do so if you have not signed up yet. First, I want to give two pieces of advice to our Advent readers. The first piece of advice is this. If you find that it works better for you, you might want to consider using audio recordings of the Gospel of Luke. You can download some audio recordings of the Bible onto your phone. You can also find some of these sorts of recordings or programs that will read scripture for you on the computer. And it might be helpful for you to do that and then to listen to one chapter a day as you do the dishes or as you get ready in the morning, as you rest at night, as you do paperwork, whatever it is that you might be doing. That way you can stay more on task with it in the midst of a busy flow of work and living. My second piece of advice is this. Let's say that neither reading the scriptures nor listening to the scriptures works for you every single day, and it gets so busy that you find on December 11th that you haven't read anything since Luke chapter 6. It's okay. Do not tell yourself that you have to read chapter 7, 8, 9, and 10 before you read chapter 11, or chapter 15 and 16 before you read chapter 17. That simply isn't true. The way that these Holy Scriptures are written, and I'm looking down because I have a copy of them right in front of me as I talk to you, the way that these Holy Scriptures are written is that they are so inspired and so full of truth and goodness that any chapter, any verse, ultimately any word of Scripture can stand almost on its own and speak the laws and promises of God to us. Maybe not every word all on its own, but they can stand in connection with everything else and bear to us the full message of Scripture because these pages and these words are so inspired. So, if you find that you have not read several chapters and it's December 12th, just read chapter 12 on December 12th and read chapter 13 on December 13th. Just pick up with the chapter for that day and move forward, and don't beat yourself up. Pick up the other chapters sometime when you can. It's not like a chapter book of like a novel where you have to know everything that happens beforehand to really appreciate everything else. That's good, and it's a fun thing to do, and it does help us appreciate everything to read it that way. But if it so happens that you get off track, just jump right back on track and pick up with the rest of us, and it's okay. It's just fine. So those are my two pieces of advice. One, use audio recordings if it helps, and two, do not let missing a few chapters convince you that you failed and you need to quit. Just jump right back in with the chapter for that day. Now, for those of you who have not yet signed up, who would like to, it's still time, of course. You can just send your email to the following email address. And I don't have fancy software that can put it here at the bottom of our video. I wish I did, but I'll simply say it and then spell it for you. Send your email address to advent@zionlutheranwausau.com. We're not a .org, we're a .com. And the very first part of that is Advent, A-D-V-E-N-T. So advent@zionlutheranwausau.com. Send your email to that email address. I'll add you to the email list of folks receiving reading notes and reading questions, and we'd be happy to have you aboard. A blessed Advent to all of you. The Gospel of Luke is full of goodness and truth, as are all of the Holy Scriptures, and what a joy to be reading one chapter a day of it with all of you. Peace.